Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's story, we have a female rapper who is plus size, quite plus sized, and she is taking Lyft to court because a driver refused to take her, essentially cancelled the ride as soon as he saw her. Now this woman is almost 500 pounds. Now this rapper goes by Dank Demos and her real name is Dejua Blanding. So take a look. I'm going to change the music, not even because of copyright, but because the lyrics that she is spitting are pretty foul. She's basically trying to put Sexy Red out of business. So she orders a Lyft, and I'm assuming she didn't order a special type of Lyft, just a regular Lyft. And the driver pulls up in a Mercedes-Benz sedan, takes one look at her and says, "Sorry, I can't do it." She's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" He's like, "I can't do it. My tires." He said something about his tires.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What? For what? What you saying?
Yeah, I got no space in my car is small.
I can fit in this car.
But believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me. So, I'm sorry.
What I'm gonna do about my money?
I'm gonna cancel you. You're not gonna be charged.
So you telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car?
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What makes you think I can't fit in the car?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What makes you think I can't fit in this car?
Because the car is small in the back. Believe
My
me.
best friend has a Benz that's newer than this that I can fit in. That's the same size.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't.
So you really telling me I'm too big to get in your car? So I gotta order another Lyft.
Yeah. And to be more specific with you, I got very tired tires.
What I got to do with your tires?
Yeah, and you have no space.
How you know I don't have no space?
Yeah, I got no space in the back. Believe me.
How do you know I don't have no space?
Because I've tried before.
Huh?
Because I've been in this situation.
So every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL it's called.
No, I don't never have to order Uber XL.
Then I'm really sorry.
What's your name?
Abraham Carter.
Okay. Nope.
So I'll explain the story before I give my opinion. But basically he pulled up and refused the ride and said he's going to cancel it. As soon as he saw her, he's thinking that she should have ordered an Uber XL or a Lyft XL. That his car is just a regular car and he believes that she is not going to fit. She's telling him that he is wrong. But remember, this is his car, his personal car, and he's seen her size. He says he's been in this position before. So perhaps he picked up another big passenger and they didn't fit. So he's saying, "I'm telling you, you're not going to fit. I've done this before. It didn't work out. Please order a bigger ride." Now, the guy sounds perfectly polite to me. He didn't sound rude to me. He didn't sound like he was ridiculing her. He didn't sound abrasive. He didn't sound like he was trying to belittle her. He was just explaining, this isn't going to work out. Now, Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, they do reserve the right to refuse rides. Usually if they believe that it's not going to be safe. And I think that that's an important right for them to have because that looks out for their safety. There have been some horrific incidents with female Uber drivers who have been killed because they picked up somebody who was a predator. Unbeknownst to them, they picked up somebody who ended up, SAing them or taking their life even. So I do believe that all drivers should have the right to say no. But of course, you're not allowed to discriminate. So she is now taking a Lyft to court. I don't believe the driver's being sued personally, but she's taken the company to court and saying that she is a victim of discrimination due to her weight. Now, federally, weight is not a protected class. It's not put in the same category as discriminating against somebody because of their race, their sex, which was a bit sketchy for a moment there, but sex is now defined as male and female. It's not the same as discriminating against somebody because of their religion, because they have a disability. So federally, it's not a civil right. You don't get to cry discrimination in a court of law due to weight. However, when it comes to certain states, they have their own state law, as we know. And in Michigan, where she's taking Lyft to court, weight is included. Weight is a protected class. So, yeah, she's suing the company.
Tell us how this all unfolded here, Jessica.
Well, it all unfolded on video. Deja Banlane whipped out her phone when this all happened. Now, the Lyft driver, he was kind enough and apologetic, but refused her a ride and said that she would not fit and that her weight couldn't be handled by his tires. Now she's filing a lawsuit.
Have you been in cars that size before?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that, you know.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
Every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL instead.
No, I don't never have to order Uber XL.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough.
I get the money and flip it and make some food.
Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Yes, I can. I really want people to see, like, what we go through as bigger people, you know?
We did reach out to Lyft. They did not get back with us in time for this story. Now, Lyft, Uber, those rideshare companies, they can refuse passengers based on a perceived security threat. But according to Deja's attorneys, you cannot discriminate based on someone's weight. It's very clear in that cell phone video. That is why he denied her ride. Reporting live on Detroit's west side, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
And because these Lyft drivers, their own personal rides, I mean, they turn people away, but they have some discretion, you're saying, but when it comes to some of these protected liberties, no.
That is what the attorneys are saying, and they said they had enough to file suit. They have filed that lawsuit, and Lyft has been served, but we will see what happens. We'll stay in touch with Deja.
Wow. What a world we live in today. But to be fair, you could hear that she felt humiliated by the experience. It hurt her feelings, as she said. And, I feel for her that she went through a humiliating experience. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And she seems perfectly nice. Now, I also feel for the Lyft driver, to be honest, because that's his car. He's thinking, I don't want any more or any unnecessary wear and tear, on my car, because they have to take that with the job. You're going to have a lot more wear and tear with your car. You're going to have a higher mileage than usual, because you've taken this position to be a Lyft driver or an Uber driver. So he's just thinking about his car. Now, obviously, there wasn't an issue with safety in terms of, I don't feel safe with this passenger. That's the main reason they have a right to refuse a ride. If there's a security issue, you don't feel safe or you don't feel it's safe for the passenger. This was about weight. And this was about whether his car was going to get damaged. So yeah, maybe she does have a case. Maybe she will be successful. Who knows? I'm not too keen on the precedent that this would set, though, if she does win. But by law in Michigan, the lawyer's right. It is classed as the same as discriminating against somebody because of their race, because of their gender, all those other factors. As absurd as some people might think that sounds, weight has been added to those protected classes. So we shall see. But if you work as a Lyft or Uber driver, are you going to be in a position where you have to take somebody who is £500? And if you don't, your company can get sued. And that's not going to look well on you. You end up getting your company into trouble. Now, Lyft are basically saying they don't condone any, form of discrimination. You know how woke Lyft are?
Women Plus Connect is a feature that matches women and non-binary drivers with more women and non-binary riders. Women Plus Connect gives women and non-binary drivers the option to turn on a preference that will prioritize matches with other nearby women and non-binary riders. Women Plus Connect first launched in September of last year in select early access cities, but now they're expanding it nationwide. I'm so excited. This feature offers more control over the driving experience for women and non-binary people, allowing them to feel more confident in the car. All right, time to get driving.
So in a statement, Lyft said the company unequivocally condemns all forms of discrimination. We believe in a community where everyone is treated with equal respect and mutual kindness. Our community guidelines and terms of service explicitly prohibit harassment or discrimination. They're kind of throwing the driver under the bus, but whatever. On her page, she posted the video, and one of the top comments says, "Most drivers would have cancelled the ride and left her standing out there. At least he was honest, even though she's in denial. People have gotten so complacent with sugarcoating things that it's almost a crime when you tell the truth. Then we immediately say it's discrimination, it's racism, it's prejudice, it's this and that. No, Queen, it's your reality standing in your face because you're constantly running from it." The driver said nothing wrong and he was respectful the entire time. He never once called her out of her name, called her fat, or addressed her issue negatively. He simply gave her a suggestion that was plausible. He told the truth. The only reason she is causing a scene is because 1, her self-esteem was hurt, so that the only revenge she could get would be to ruin this man's life using social media. 2, she has the platform and fans, which is a pacifier to help make her feel better. Now, of course, I'm not here to bash or make this queen feel worse. I am also a plus-size woman. Not proud of it, but it is reality. However, you cannot be offended or upset when reality hit, and it hurts. Wow. Now, Deja is standing there filming this guy, and you can hear in her voice that she is out of breath. To me, that's a bigger issue. You should not be out of breath while you are standing about to get into a car. Why is that not the bigger issue? That's Baldry even posted this for him to lose his account. You know you're too big for that car. So yes, you're wrong. Let's be realistic. Now, this is under her page. This isn't on X. This is on her page. So these are her fans. Baby, he worried about his suspension. Love her to death, but he has the right to protect his only means of transportation. I had a friend her size and she messed up another friend's car. It's sad, but at least he wasn't rude. Y'all love to throw out the word sue. This man is protecting his car. If I was her driver, I probably would have said the same thing. Now, I was actually looking for some comments that supported her because I'm curious to see how people justify this. But most of the comments, the top comments, are all basically, disagreeing with her taking this man to court or taking Lyft to court. Now, we have had people turn around recently, like Lizzo. She's turned around and started exercising, eating better. She says that she eats Japanese food now, and she has started to lose weight. I do believe South Park had something to do with that.
I controlled all my cravings to be thinner with Lizzo.
It's Lizzo. FDA-approved Lizzo makes you feel good about your weight, and it costs 90% less than Ozempic.
I've lowered my standards and my expectations.
It's Lizzo. In case studies, 70% of patients on Lizzo no longer cared how much they weighed.
Now, my thing is there seems to be an expectation with this fat positivity movement, which is dying out, by the way. No pun intended, but, it is what it is. But there seems to be this idea that the rest of the world needs to adapt to your size. The rest of the world needs to accommodate you, regardless of how big you get. And that's just simply not realistic. When it gets to the point where you have to debate whether you can fit into an Uber, whether it's making a Lyft driver uncomfortable about whether he can have you in his car because he's worried about the damage that will be done to his car, When it gets to that point, I think you need to start taking a good look at yourself and being honest with yourself, as her fans were saying. Being honest with yourself. So I'm looking to see how this turns out. But ultimately, health is wealth. If you're standing there out of breath, that should be a wake-up call. And the rest of the world doesn't need to ignore what's staring them in the face just to appease your feelings. Now, I hope this man hasn't lost his account. I hope he's still able to work as a Lyft driver. He was perfectly respectful and he gave her an alternative, and she was free to find another driver who felt more comfortable, a driver who had a bigger car. The company provides those options. It's not necessarily about the weight of the passenger, it's more so for people who are carrying luggage or for multiple passengers. So it depends on how the court sees it, how the courts interpret this idea of discriminating against somebody on the basis of weight. I'm sure he had his reasons for not wanting someone of her size into his car. Now, if it's true that he has carried passengers of her size before and it never worked out in his car, that's going to count for a lot in court, I would say, because that's his experience. So he has evidence, but we shall see how the courts interpret all of this. But more than likely, it will be settled out of court because most cases are. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.